Good morning again, Patrick here, coming to you live from Complete Health in Eastbourne, and just really observing the environment. Just observing the environment. It's really interesting to watch everything going on. The little rumors and tickies that are going around about lockdowns and lifestyle and changes, etc., etc., etc. So really interesting to observe the world at the moment and see everything that's going on, how people are responding. And it's really interesting to see, that we're actually, funny enough, despite the fact that we're supposedly in a bit of a pandemic or a crisis, we're actually seeing probably more people coming into the clinic than ever. More people coming into our clinic than ever. And here are a couple of things that I have observed. These are a couple of things that I've observed from the world right now, is that people are massively changing their level or ability to adapt to the environment. We are changing our ability to adapt to the environment. So what I basically mean by that is the word adaptability is that if there is a time of stress or there is a stress in your life, your body can learn to adapt to that. Now that process is called, we talk about homeostasis, which is the ability to keep balance within the body, but there is a term called allostasis, which is how well does your body learn to adapt to stress. Because the thing is your body can be in constant balance, but if your body needs to go through the physiological process so that you can cope with an environment, that is called allostasis. Now, let me explain a little bit what I am seeing. People's lives have had to completely change. Completely. There is almost no one on the planet, especially in the UK, that has not been affected in some way in the last 6 months. Almost everyone has had to change their routine. I know I had to change my routine. I could not go to the gym for over 3 months, which for me, and by the way, I still exercised, but not having that routine, not having that ability was a massive stress for me. There was a massive stress for me. Now, there are 3 types of stress, and all of these things will have a huge impact on the way that our biology works. Now, when you look at the World Health Organization talks about health, and they call it complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So we can be affected in 3 ways, really: physically, chemically, emotionally. And if we look at our environment, people have been getting affected in pretty much all of these ways. Physically, people are sitting behind desks at dining room chairs on laptops. These things are designed to do like an hour commute and open up and check your emails. They are not designed for an 8-hour day, 5 days a week. So we're seeing more people struggling with neck and back pain, shoulder pains, purely because they're using laptops and not desk chairs, and so as a result, they're starting to develop injuries. Stuff like lack of exercise, a huge physical impact. Now, exercise gives our body that ability to learn how to use our muscles. It gets all the joints moving, gets our circulation going, so that when we then sit and then we move again and we sit and move again, our body can adapt to the change. If we're never exercising, our body cannot adapt to change. So if you're going to work, sitting at a desk, going home, sitting in a sofa, going to bed, getting up, doing the same thing over and over again without ever doing any exercise or physical movement, what happens is our body starts to lock, our joints start to build scar tissue, and as a result, we can't move, and our brain starts to eventually go, I don't like this, and screams out and lets us know. So physical exercise allows our body to be able to adapt to stress. There is no question about it. It is pretty much the most evidence-based treatment, if we can call it that, on the planet. Something else that I've observed with clients, diets have gone out the window. People are not eating properly. People are opting for more sugar and fat. It's unbelievable. During the lockdown period, the number of times that I saw the Domino's man come to my neighbor was absolutely unreal. And we're talking maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And this is a huge chemical stress on our body, because our body has to absorb all of those nutrients from the food. Now, if they're good nutrients, guess what? It's like putting good petrol in your car. And again, if it's bad nutrients, guess what? It's like putting dirty, scummy, or the wrong petrol in your car. We know what happens if we put the wrong fuel into a car. It does not start. So chemically, we're starting to affect our bodies. Now, something else, the the sales of alcohol in this country have risen by somewhere between 20 and 30%. 20 and 30%. And again, this is a huge coping mechanism because what we know about alcohol, it affects certain neurotransmitters in our brains, which almost numbs us and gives us that coping mechanism. However, we are chemically inhibiting the way that nerves work, and we're inhibiting nerve function. We're inhibiting nerve function. So all of these things that I'm observing, something else I'm observing, people cannot mix with their loved ones, or they're being restricted on their loved ones, or they cannot go and see their friends, or etc., etc. So restrictions on who we can and can't see. Now this is having a huge social impact, and again, World Health Organization defines health like this: complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. And so if we're being restricted, essentially we're being restricted on our ability to express health. We're being limited. So by the World Health Organization's own definition, a lot of the recommendations that have been put in place are contradictory for people's health. Now, what we know is all of these things contribute to underlying health. They contribute to underlying health. If you can maintain good physical, chemical, and emotional health and social well-being, what we can see is people's physiological responses in their body actually start to change. And this is when healing, recovery, and rest can occur. If we are moving away from those situations, rest and recovery cannot occur. And this is when we start to see injuries, disease, disorder, and stress start to manifest and cause problems. It's really, really simple. So let's try and keep stresses down. Now, if you need help in learning how to do that, whether that's from a diet point of view, an exercise point of view, maybe you just want help managing your stress by having something like a regular de-stress massage. These are all ways that we can start to contribute to the reversal of the dysfunctions that we're currently seeing in the current climate. So let us help you to adapt to the environment. If you've got questions, post them below. If you want education, we have put huge amounts of information out on our YouTube channel, on our podcast, which is Coffee with the Chiropractor, that's available on Spotify and iTunes. And the reason why I am currently doing all of this is because during this most uncertain time, I think the most applicable thing that we can do for people is at least give them the information on how to look after themselves, because if people know how to look after themselves, then we can actually get over this problem. What a rant, hey? So if you guys need any help, just send us a message. I'd be happy to answer any questions. You can send us a private message on Facebook. Equally, we do send out emails to all of our clients. If you go into that email and you respond to that email, that will come directly to me as well. Like I say, you can also get hold of loads of other information on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. If you guys got any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If you've got any topics that you want me to cover, again, don't hesitate to ask, because I'd love to be able to help you guys. Until tomorrow, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.